Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank, starts now.
Good evening and welcome into Season Pass. I'm your host, Brian Cunningham. The next half hour, a full recap from Week 10 of the 2024 high school football season with highlights and scores from all across the Concho Valley. Plus, we check in on Angelo State athletics, as well as a look around the country at what is making top sports headlines from this past week. And, of course, we'll have any playoff or tiebreaker scenarios as the show goes on with any info that we have. Let's start things off with Lakeview entering Week 2 of district play at home Thursday night. Lakeview 0-1 in district. Big Springs also 0-1. Both teams looking for that first win to kick off their second week of district play. Lakeview quarterback Alviso connects with Braylon White for a touchdown pass. Early 7-0 lead for the Chiefs in this contest. Big Spring ties this one up, though. 7-7 touchdown pass from Adrian Yanez to Kane Venezuela. And then the Steers are going to take a 14-7 advantage on a touchdown pass from Yanez to Jacoby. And later in the half, Alviso connects with Daniel Munoz for the reception, but he's going to get tackled just a little bit short. And then the Chiefs quarterback Braylon White is going to find another pickup for a nice gain. And the Chiefs would go on to close this one out 28-21. Lakeview drops to 2-7 overall, 0-2 in district. And don't worry, all four of these district teams are guaranteed to make the playoffs in a 4-team district. Central hosting Odessa for Saturday's makeup game from Friday night's postponement. The Bobcats looking for that first win of district play. Coach Smith talking to the guys in the huddle before the game. This one picks up back with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Odessa up 7 at this point. Squeaky, quick pass to Stribling for the first down over the middle to extend the drive. QB read on this play. Squeaky's going to bounce this to the outside. Sheds off the tackle for the touchdown to tie this game at 7 in the second quarter. And we're going to have another play action throw. Squeaky this time to Jimmy Edwards on the sideline for the long touchdown. You're going to see him outrun the defender to go up 14-7 at this point. In CHS, they have all the momentum. Now converted wide receiver to quarterback. Odessa's quarterback does a scramble drill here. Like I said, he was the receiver. He's going to break down a defender with a nice move on this play for the first down. Time winding down in the first half of this game. Final play of the first half. It's going to be a safe shotgun handoff up the gut as the first half expires. Central up 14-7 at the halfway point. And they would go on to win their first district game in over a year, 23-13 final score. A tough season for the TLCA Eagles as they enter this matchup 0-8 on the season. They've been facing some unfortunate circumstances, and they face the Comanche Indians for a 5-3 team they have never met in their school's history. 72-6 Indians in this one. Grape Creek Eagles enter Week 4 of district play. Very much alive in third place. They're going to travel to Merkel to face the Badgers, who are 0-2 in their district. The Eagles coming off a tough district loss last week to the Leader Wall, who leads that division, and they look to regain momentum in their season. Friday night, Grape Creek held a 14-0 lead. Merkel cut the deficit to 2, but fell short as the Eagles hold on to win 14-12. Playoffs still alive. District 5 3A Division II represented in this next matchup as the two teams faced off. The 3-0 Brady Bulldogs traveling to the Rattlers of Tolar, also 3-0. These two teams have never faced off against each other, and we are blessed with a fantastic Week 10 matchup. 42-21 in favor of the Bulldogs. Coming up next on Season Pass, we continue our coverage of high school football across the Concho Valley. District 3 2A Division I is up next, and it is neck and neck as the season winds down, including a Concho Valley matchup. Don't go anywhere. This is Season Pass. Welcome back in District 3. 2A Division I is up next, and they are neck and neck for our next matchup. A Concho Valley matchup at that. Cristobal traveling to Sonora to face the Broncos. Both teams tied for third at 1 and 2. This game has a lot weighing on it as the loser possibly sits outside the top 4. Cougars and Broncos waiting on the coin flip, and right out the gun we have Manuel Rojas. 7-0 Cougars at this point. Sonora gets within 7-6 as Aaron Segura hands off to Gomez, and he barrels this one into the end zone. Cougars move ahead 14-6 as Ethan Bush outruns the Broncos for a long touchdown pass, and Aaron Segura hands it off to Justin Gonzalez, who gets wrapped up on this play. Cristobal's Ethan Bush sacks the quarterback on this play, and the Cougars quarterback Stanton McLaughlin fires up a pass to Bush, gets tackled, and Cristobal went on to win this one 20-13. Facing Ozona next week, Cristobal has to win out to make the playoffs. Continuing District 3 2A Division 1, set to face off, and this one sees the KSAN Buffaloes coming into the Concho Valley to take on our very own Ozona Lions. Both teams sitting at second place at 2-1, with this important game having a lot weigh on it, just as the previous matchup did between Cristobal and Sonora. Dominating this one 50-28, it's the Lions en route to a playoff berth on the line next week. Mason Punchers atop the District 14 2A Division 1 at 3-0, facing the Johnson City Eagles at the opposite 0-3. Mason in the middle of a 66 consecutive district winning streak and looking to win their district for the 16th straight season, with San Saba, who is also tied first. Their matchup next week, crushing Johnson City, though, in this one 63-17. Mason on their way to winning their 16th district in a row. El Dorado enters Week 10 with a huge matchup as they travel to face the 6th-ranked Wink Wildcats with a pivotal district matchup ahead. El Dorado still in contention as both teams sit in first and tied second atop the district 3-0 and 2-1 respectfully. First quarter, there was an issue with the snap leading to a blocked punt. Kobe Venezuela, it's scooped up by Ethan Cahill. Wink's first score on the board, 7-0 Wildcats. Next play up, Wildcats quarterback Lane Lusby fires off a pass to Timothy Montoya. He's going to get this one into the end zone for another touchdown, making it 14-0. Look at the move he put on him. Second quarter here, we're going to have a huge throw from the Eagles quarterback Johnny Ray Ademi, and he is going to make a fantastic catch here for Vasquez. Another throw from Adame, but this one's clipped midair and flies into the hands of Cahill for an interception, ending the Eagles' drive. Wildcats go into halftime 35-0 on the board. Final score 55-0 in this one. Staying with District 4 2A Division 2, series tied at 1-1, and both teams enter 1-2 in district play. Sterling City is not out of it yet, but they need some help, having lost to both at the top of the district, with Iran next week with playoff implications. Delivering a close game, though, on the road 20-14. Sterling City at home next week with a chance to clinch a playoff berth. Switching to 7 2A Division 2, Winners holds this overall record of the series at 7-3. Miles at 2-1. Winners 0-3. Miles in third place with the district leader coming to town next week. So this game matters. It's a must-win for the Miles, and everyone's favorite entering this game. The Bulldogs are back in full force with a commanding win, 55-0 on the road, en route to a playoff berth potentially. Switching to 14 2A Division 2 for this first ever meeting between these two teams. Junction sitting at 4-0 in district play with La Pryor right on their heel at 3-1. Every game matters this time of the year in Week 10. The Eagles with no room to overlook anyone. 55-0 moving on in this one to 5-0 in district play for the Eagles, sitting comfortable with their playoffs nearly sealed. Coming up next on Season Pass, we continue our coverage of high school football across the Concho Valley with 2 more Concho Valley matchups. When we get back, Class 1A is up next with the close race of District 8 1A Division 1. Don't go anywhere. This is Season Pass. Welcome back into Season Pass. District 8 1A Division 1 is up next, and it's coming down to the wire. Another postponed game made up Saturday. We actually had a few of them in the 1A Division. Water Valley faced Erie County in this close race between two District 8 1A Division 1 teams as the Wildcats and the Hornets faced off. Erie County and the Water Valley Wildcats. Cats 2-0, Hornets 1-1. First quarter opening possession. Laudermilk rushes to his left, cuts it downfield, going in for the touchdown. 8-0 Erie County early, and it didn't take long for the Wildcats to respond. Landon Lacey returns the ensuing kickoff, taking it to the distance. 8-8 tie ball game at this point. Water Valley with the possession again. This time Lacey connecting with Gunner Brooks for the score. 16-8 Wildcats. 5:42 to go, still in the first quarter. Lacey doing it all this time, rushing all the way to the end zone. Water Valley building a big lead now, 24-8 Wildcats. It was all Wildcats the rest of the way. Steamrolling the Hornets for a 54-8 win. And Water Valley's going to move to 3-0 in district. Erie and County falls to 1-2. Wildcats most likely clinching the first playoff spot in the 8-1-8 Division I. And continuing that 8-1-8 Division I in that close race, Robert Lee traveled to Very Best. This game was also made up from Friday to Saturday morning. The Steers 2-1 entering this contest. Very Best 2-0. A loss by Robert Lee, and we're nearing a three-way tie territory for second place with only 2 spots to fill. Robert Lee leads 8-0 in the first after a pitch to Brenner Sherwood. And this is for a long touchdown later in the first. Very Best pulls even at 8-8 on a touchdown run by Bryce Martin as he shakes off a defender near the goal line. Robert Lee, Brenner connects with Levi Bailey, and he hits pay dirt in the right corner of the end zone. 16-8 Steers at this point, and Bryce Martin carries for the Falcons, but the Steers D bottles him up on this play, going nowhere. Still in the first, Very Best ties it at 16-all after Lorenzo Height pitches to Martin, who connects with Peyton Larson for a score. Robert Lee wins this one 76-63 and most likely has locked up that second playoff spot in this district. Switching to 15-1A Division I, the Eden Bulldogs at home hosting the Nueces Canyon. These teams enter their 5th matchup overall against each other. Both teams 0-1 in the district play. Eden needing to win this district leader next on the schedule. Starting in the second quarter, already 20-0 Eden, and they didn't stop there. Garrett Gobill takes it all the way to the end zone. 28-0 Bulldogs. A few moments later, running back Nate Barber runs down the sideline, struts into the end zone for 6. 34-0 now. Eden pouring it on. Continuing to dominate on defense, Jared Fernandez jars the ball loose from the quarterback. Phelan Roller picked it up by Cohen Hoschler for the another Dogs touchdown. 40-0 now. Jaden taking the handoff, and yet again another touchdown. 46-0. They get the job done on senior night, shutting out the Panthers 46-0. And our final district, 6-1A Division II, saw Bront travel to Trent to face the Gorillas. Both teams enter this matchup 1-1 in district play, with Bront needing to win out to have any chance at a playoff race. 65-26 Longhorns. Bront and Blackwell fighting for that second and final spot in this district. Coming up next on Season Pass, Angelo State Athletics had 5 total games across 3 sports this past week. I'll have the latest scores and highlights when we return. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Season Pass. Welcome back into Season Pass. Angelo State kicked off their second to last home game on Saturday night for Military Appreciation Day. Central Washington would come to town sitting 5-1 in conference play, just behind the Rams in the rankings. Rams entered this contest 6-0 in the conference and one of the hottest teams in the LSC. But a tough matchup Saturday night for the boys. Opening drive. Matter of fact, how about first play of the game? Fuller to Freeman to kick off this one, 75 yards through the air, hitting pay dirt. You'd have thought that man was a tire shot because he had some wheels on this one. 7-0 Rams early in this contest. And after a field goal in the second quarter, the Wildcats would cap off a long drive to tie this game at 10 apiece with time winding down in the first half. ASU driving before the half runs out, and quarterback Braden Fuller. This man wanted the angry run scepter. He's going to break 2 tackles, 4. How about a 5th tackle before being tripped up at the 1-yard line to set up the easy score a few plays later. And actually 1 play later, Jaden Jones is going to punch this one across for the goal line for the touchdown. 17-0 at the halfway point for the Rams here. And after scoring what should have been the game-tying score, Central Washington was hit with a false start on the missed PAT try with 34 seconds to go in the game. Missing it, Rams would go on to hold on to this game. 17-16 final score, 7-0 in conference play, and on the road next week with a chance to play for the LSC title. Over to the Bells now. ASU soccer with 2 matches this past week. The first one played on Tuesday against West Texas A&M. The Bells entered this contest sitting atop the LSC, currently in the middle of a 12-game unbeaten streak, scoring 12 goals in the last 6 games as well. And through 45 minutes of play, no goals, but ASU had 6 shots, 1 on goal, to West Texas A&M 0. And after 90 minutes of full game played, ASU 21 shots, 9 on goal, to the Lady Buffs 3 shots, 1 on goal. 9 saves for A&M in this draw. The Bells continue their unbeaten streak after the draw. The Bells' second match of the weekend saw them back at home against Sul Ross State, and unfortunately, this game was put into a weather delay where it was eventually canceled rather than rescheduled, as it is now considered a no contest. And 2 more games in the regular season for Angelo State soccer as the Bells prepare for their final home game facing off against Lubbock Christian. The Bells enter this contest still atop the LSC and remain unbeaten in their last 13 matches. Game start is set for 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Sticking with the ladies, but off to the court now, the 14-ranked Bells had also 2 contests this week, both on the road. Their first matchup, they travel to take on the Hilltoppers over in St. Edwards. The Bells have won all 8 matchups against the Hilltoppers, including last season's 3-0 shutout. A fairly close match for all 3 sets sees the Bells winning in a shutout. Evelyn Torres with a double-double. Adeline Ortman notching 35 assists and a pair of aces in this one. And the 14-ranked Bells' second match of the weekend was a home contest against St. Mary's. The Bells entered this contest 10-1 and rolling, and this one was a shootout to the finish. The Bells got behind early, down 2-1 through 3 sets, but would lock in, closing out sets 4 and 5 to complete the comeback win. Some notable performances in this road finale. Evelyn Torres had 24 kills, one shy of a career-high. Adeline Ortman with her 5th 50-plus assist game this season, and freshmen's Demi Carter and Sydney Thornton would tally 13 kills and 5 blocks, chipping in as well. The Bells now sit 11-1 in conference play and finish with a road record of 10-1 with 4 more games to go in the regular season, all 4 being at home. The Cowboys were on the road against the Falcons this weekend, and we're going to send it over to everyone's favorite Cowboys insider, Mickey Spagnola, for the post-game recap.
As losses go, this one was bad. This one was really bad. Falcons 27, Cowboys 21 here Sunday afternoon at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. As Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said afterwards, I am concerned, and he should be concerned. The Cowboys have fallen to 3 and 5. 5 losses is as many as they've had in any of the past 3 seasons. They've also lost 3 in a row for the first time since the 2020 season. And even worse than the losses, Dak Prescott was lost for the remainder of the game, straining a hamstring when he was getting tackled. Didn't come back in the game, and as a matter of fact, he said they're going to have to get an MRI on his hamstring on Monday and see where it goes from there. Not only that, CeeDee Lamb was out of the game for a period of time with a shoulder injury. It looked like he was just worn out in the game as the Cowboys were trying to win this game. And if you're looking for a statistic of why they lost this game, the Cowboys ended up just 3 for 17 on 3rd downs and 4th downs. And speaking of 4th downs, 2 in a row really did them in. A fake punt and a miss on a 4th and 1 led to Falcons touchdowns, and that's why the Cowboys are leaving here Sunday evening with a 3 and 5 record. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Mickey Spagnola here in Atlanta.
Coming up next on Season Pass, female drivers in NASCAR are inspiring the next The 70th annual NASCAR Championship is right around the corner, and we have a story about 2 drivers gearing up to inspire the next generation. Here's that story.
The roar of race car engines zooming around the track could be heard for miles in Roseville Friday afternoon as racers gear up for the 70th annual NASCAR Championship. And 2 of the drivers are speeding through the glass ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of men happy when a 14-year-old girl beats them on the track.
You heard it right. Lincoln's own Kylie Glick is just 14 years old and leaving the boys in the dust.
She's racing a full-size late model car that is basically like a NASCAR Cup-style car.
She doesn't have a driver's license, but instead a NASCAR license allowing her to compete. In her rookie year on the junior late model stock car circuit, she's not just competing, she's dominating with a championship title within reach and defying expectations.
I think I've been doing that a lot this season, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for me and hopefully make it to the NASCAR Cup Series and prove a lot of people wrong.
Another driver making waves is Loomis native Kenna Mitchell. At just 18 years old, Mitchell became the first female super late model champion at the All-American Speedway at a Super Series in October. Like Kylie, she too has her eyes on the big leagues.
NASCAR for sure, that'd be super cool to race in, especially knowing like there's not a lot of like female drivers up in the Cup.
Kenna and Kylie will make history as two female drivers to be presumed winners heading into tomorrow's races. They compete in different circuits, but both understand the importance of inspiring a new generation of drivers.
And sometimes out there it's like, man, I want to do well because I know there's not a lot of girls out there.
So I hope we can show them up and just show them what we have.
And before we get to our player of the week, let's take a quick look at the Dr. Pepper Trivia Challenge from this past weekend. Here's one of this past week's questions. What year did Water Valley and Robert Lee first face off against each other? This week's sweepstakes winner is Nancy Santillan. Congrats on that $20 gift card. We run this sweepstakes every week on Thursday night. New week, new question, new winner. And for the Week 10 Player of the Week, I chose a player who not only deserves the honor, as he hasn't been chosen yet by me this year, but he's someone who balled out in his team's shutout district win on Friday night. Liam Yancey, star quarterback for the Miles Bulldogs, with a standout performance, 70% completion with 265 through the air, 5 scores, and a shutout win over the Winter Blizzards to help Miles in their playoff push. I can't believe it is already entering Week 11 next week, and that's going to wrap up this week's Season Pass. I know it's already over, but you can check out all of our content on the Concho Valley homepage. You can also follow us on Twitter at KLST Sports. Make sure to use that hashtag Season Pass to stay in the conversation. And of course, next week I'll have every playoff clinching scenario and team for tiebreakers and everything that is available as we wrap up the regular season and jump into area round before by-district kicks off. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I'm Brian Cunningham. Good night, Concho Valley.
Thank you for watching Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank. For more in-depth stories, scores, and highlights, head to ConchoValleyHomepage.com. For more on today's stories, visit ConchoValleyHomepage.com. Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyas.